Thunder fans, Travis Lennox here, joined by Matt Saffold. And post-game here, Shawn Chacon, the manager of the Thunder, following the 10-4 win, third straight win. Last 3 games, 33 hits, 27 runs, Shawn, offensive explosion. And third straight win here at home, taking down the Crosscutters after winning the series yesterday versus the Keys. Opening thoughts on winning at home, winning the series last night, taking game 1 tonight over Crosscutters.
Stoked, man. Matt, first time we've had all of us here, so this is dope. Glad to be here. Man, you said it. The offense, the hits, the runs, the starting pitching tonight, Misla was nasty from the first inning on, and Bobby came in from the bullpen and was like, I've never seen Misla stuff like this in the bullpen, so hope it transfers into the field, and it did. So, you talk about the last 2 games with Frederick, I mean, man, they just took it upon themselves, I think, to just, play hard, be tough outs at the plate, and it translated, man. And maybe it's something too, like we're wrapping up the season, and we got to remind these guys, you have a few games left here in this environment, which you tell by the night sell out. Like the environment's lit, it's so fun. Yeah. And if you're a baseball player, like you can't ask for, anything better than the environment you have, especially at this level. So they've taken advantage so far. Tonight they did the same thing, carryover from last night, and you got to give credit to the hitters 100%.
Then like you said, the offense, sometimes the results doesn't always reflect exactly guys' process, which you kind of spoke about from the start. Seeing different guys come through, kind of Marinac especially, obviously different guys all throughout the lineup, but just speak about who kind of jumps to mind first and foremost when you kind of see the surge that you guys had these last few games.
I mean, it starts with your leadoff. We put Ron Parrott, the hitting coach. He put Connor in the leadoff spot. His on base percentage, I mean, smart, right? Yeah. And he is the leader of this team without a doubt. He plays shortstop. He's if he's not in the middle of the order, he's at leadoff. But it starts with him. Guys like him doing the dirty stuff, dropping bunts down, getting guys over, just grinding out at bats, and he's a tough player, and it translates. It's contagious. So you go down and you get who's in the 2-hole tonight, Jackson Tucker, who he's a grinder anyway, and he plays that small ball grinding game too. But again, it's contagious. I talk about John Schroeder all the time, who again for me he's the mascot of this team, because I think that this team has the identity of it's not flashy, it's not pretty, but it's a grind. It's every day, ups and downs. Take it the same way. John Schroeder steps in, he catches, he plays first, he plays outfield, he's played third base, he hits in the top of the order, the middle, the bottom, and he's always in the middle of something. Like he's always dirty, he's always sweaty. Yeah. So again, the toughness of our team mentally, like I say right now at the end of this season, is starting to show. Whether we're in first or last or whatever place we're at, these guys have taken pride in what they have left, and I think the toughness is what's going to make the difference between us and other teams.
Yeah, so came in, you ran previous 2 nights, we had 3 hits each. Last night 6 RBIs. Today another hit and walk in there, 2 runs scored, and 9-hole. You mentioned it the other night, but again,
he had 6 RBIs.
Last night.
Season high for the entire league.
7 hits.
Yeah. Player of the week, hitter of the week for sure.
Yeah. Hit away from the cycle too, with a homer away from the cycle.
Man, that's amazing. So Cam's a boy from Colorado. For me, he played with my oldest son, at Metro State. Wow. So that makes me proud, obviously. But he's a good hitter. He's a good player. That's some pretty outstanding stuff at any level. Yeah. Especially when, like I said, you with baseball, and I try to help these kids understand, young players understand peaks and valleys, right, in baseball. And Cameron, maybe a week ago he wasn't so hot. He was going through a little bit of a scuffle. But again, the manager, the hitting coaches, is the ability to have trust and faith and give these guys opportunity after opportunity that deserve it, that earn it. He's one of them, and he takes advantage. Like, that's awesome. The last couple nights.
You have the stretch now hitting 350 after probably 200 before.
It's crazy, dude. And it's crazy. Now, I always mention John Schroeder because how many hits did he have tonight? What did he have?
He went two hits and a walk, double off the wall.
Yeah. And I always go back to Schroed because he's the one that works the hardest. You know what I mean? And so I love seeing when he has multiple hit games because he deserves them. I wish he'd have got a homer there because that just, if for nothing else, it justifies all the work for a hitter, right? Like, damn, if I went deep, I feel good.
I don't know if you saw the embrace with him and Ron on third base there and got a third base.
Yeah, dude, because Ron, we've been with him the whole year, okay? And the kid has not changed. The young man has not changed his attitude, his approach, the way he shows up positive every day. He has not changed one bit through 0 for 5s, through 4 punch-out games, 3 for 3 games. You're playing here, you're playing there, you're playing here. I'm telling you right now, if there's anybody that deserves an opportunity to be an affiliated ball player, it's John Schroeder. Just from the makeup alone, the character alone. But yeah, you look at that, and of course, Ron and I are so proud of these guys. They're like kids, you know what I mean? They're like kids, and you see them, and you see the grind, and then you see the emotion that they get when they finally get it, and you're like, yeah, I love that for you. I love it for them.
Ends up being, a 10-4 win, but it was tight throughout, up until 6th, 7th inning. You had the starting pitching to be able to kind of like give you a ball, get the ball to the bullpen. I guess, organize things. Bedford comes in, throws the ball well. Brendan Parks, has been punching out guys left and right. You just talk about the bullpen and, having the opportunity to get the ball to the bullpen where you could kind of like arrange things you feel like in a proper manner to close out the game.
Well, you said it. I mean, Misla start. Like, he doesn't go 6, right? Then that doesn't happen. So, again, getting through 5 as a starter is great. Misla, being so versatile, we've used him last week a couple of times out of the pen, and he was great. So then coming today, it's like, what are you going to get out of him? You think of him as an opener, but he gives you 5, and then you're like, man, that's probably like more than what you can ask from a guy like him. And then he's like 6. No, I feel great. I feel 6. Another good inning in the 6th. Wanted to go out for the 7th, and we're like, nah, bro. Listen, we got guys now that again, you get a starter gets you through the 6th inning. It's a whole lot easier to manage the bullpen once you're that late. Bedford came in again. He's been throwing great with a bum knee and everything. Like, he's grinding it out. And then Parks, who has just taken this reliever role and ran with it. Like, he is dominant. When it comes to, he gave up 1 hit, but like, man, his stuff compared to what he was starting, it just seems like he's more laser focused. He knows it's one time. He's thrown multiple times, this week. I think like 3 times this week already. So without him, who knows where we are? And then, you get to JJ, who has been Mr. Automatic, Mr. Zero. And, like I've said to everybody before, I'm like, what? Baseball is a circular thing, man, and he's been super fortunate, beyond fortunate and dominant. Not that he hasn't earned it, but that was bound to happen. This is baseball. This ain't, it's not that easy, bro. I think JJ kind of set himself up tonight to not be successful, I think, just by throwing too many breaking balls early, I think, falling behind in the count, then having to, do this and that, but I still told him afterwards, I'm like, dude, you're still the best reliever in this league, dude, by far. You finished the game with a punch out, wipe away punch out. I'm like, so just reminding him that, like, dude, nobody's perfect in baseball. That's why it's baseball. But you're still fucking the best. Excuse my French. Beep that out.
We were saying
I'll make sure to credit.
He's been so many high level situations tonight. You had to big lead there to get him back in after being sick and not pitching a couple of days. So
he's off. He wasn't here yesterday. He hadn't pitched before that. Not to mention the load of and the volume of work he's had up to this point. So. You look at the guy and you just remind him, like, dude, you're human, bro. This is the only thing is you're human. Doesn't mean anything else. But leading up to that, dude, it was a tight game. Like they were, Williamsport, they're shorthanded. They're coming in with 11 position players, and they've had an injury bug, and they lost Mandler, who was their best offensive guy throughout the season. So as a manager, you look at that and you're like, you can't deny that without him in the lineup, that definitely hurts them and their run production. But again, our pitchers, they're competing. They're coming in. Myles Garrett last night. It was good to see him come in. Even though it was that type of game, but that's what the hard part about it is you expect that in that type of game. You expect to come in, dominate, but it's not that easy. It's not as easy as you think. So happy to see him get that good outing under his belt too.
Yeah, like I said, real tight. It was a 3-2 game. And that 7th inning, we scored 6 runs, blow it open there. Started off 2 back-to-back hit and runs. Jackson Tucker and Donovan Cash, beautiful. Then more hit parade happened. And to break Schroeder off the wall. Willis, broken bad base hit.
Yeah, I talk about being, having identity, and I feel like we've kind of finally figured out our identity. We're scrappy, we're grindy, it's gritty. It's not pretty, you know what I mean? And I told Ron and Bobby before that inning, when I think it was 9-1-2 coming up maybe. And
you
ran.
Lead off.
And I told Ron before, I'm like, dude, okay, time to get messy. I'm like, make this next inning messy, meaning like get them moving, running, like just make it complicated and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's exactly what happened. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. Like we were hitting and running and they were hitting, and it just, I think that's the team that we are. We got to create.
Yeah.
A lot of focus, obviously, is the results in the field, not just as a team, but obviously players are obsessed with numbers. But you've spoken out from the start, being process-driven, and then, been consistently, positive with that with guys, as they kind of mentioned. How does it feel for you as a manager and, to be able to see that come to fruition, being process-driven, and then start to get the positive results, in a manner in which guys can really appreciate?
That's everything, man. That's the validation that you're coaching and teaching the right thing, We had it in the first half with guys like Juju Stevens and, Michael Woolley and stuff, through the end of that first half, like they'd come back and be like, yo, I thank you. Like big picture stuff, like process is such a cliche thing, but once you dive into it and you embrace it and you live it, and then you see the end, you're like, I had Xavier Levette come to me today and be like, thank you, because I preach him on the little details of things. Like I'm just like, I'm chill, but I'm like, I really stay on them about the little tiny details. And so now I'm starting to get the thank you. Like I understand now. And, maybe it's because the clock's ticking and they're finally like, but for me as a manager, as a coach, as a teacher, as a dad, as a unc, whatever they want to call me, right? I understand my responsibility to them, and it's leaving here a better man. You know what I mean? And baseball and life are so parallel that that's how I take it.
All the time.
Yeah, it's so parallel. It's crazy.
No, for sure.
Yeah, it's all love. I mean, if you're to the players, to us, everybody out there, I see you dapping them up. Everybody in Trenton Thunder.
Yeah, it's all love from day one, dude. Like that's why I'm like, I'm in it with you. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna make the wrong decision. But I'm not going to, I'm going to still believe. I'm going to adjust. I'm still going to be here to show up for you guys every day. And not on some bullshit, not on some fake, this and that, but on some, I grab them. Like, I need them to feel me. Like, look, this is real. Okay? Yeah. For whatever you want to call it, just know that whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm saying, however I'm moving, it's real because I lived it. I experienced it. And I know that they can benefit just from hearing or just seeing how I move or what kind of experiences we've had to share with them. And that goes for Bobby Jones and Ron too. Like we've been through it, man. Yeah. So I think that's also where they understand, like, okay, like these guys aren't talking just out of what they see on TV or what they read or about their successes. Like it's not about success. It's about, let me tell you what I learned from this failure. Oh, I see what you're doing, how you're moving, what you're thinking. Like, I went out in the night to talk to JJ, and I knew, like, you could tell, he was visibly like, there goes a perfect season, which I understand. Yeah. I understand, bro, this close, you're like, dang. But also because he knew, like, that's on me. He knew it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get him and grab him and be like, hey, man, I know exactly what you're feeling, but guess what? Don't let it taint what you do, because you could slip right now, give up 4 or 5, and then it looks average. Then it looks like, oh yeah, you had a pretty good year, but right now it's still extremely excellent. Like, don't get it twisted.
100%. Yep.
That's
all I got.
Man.
Yeah,
so I appreciate the time, man. It's
awesome.
Good work, for real, bro.
Pleasure.
Yeah, wrapping up again. 10-4 tonight, 3 in a row for the Thunder, going for 4 in a row, and 2 game sweep over Crosscutters tomorrow night for to head out to Mahoney Valley. That series coming up next. But yeah, thanks, Sean. As always, great insight.
Thank you, man.
Tonight.
Let's go,
Appreciate it.
Thunder.
Let's go,
Let's go,
Thunder.
Storm.
Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Always,
Sir.
man.
Yeah.
Man,